So after you lost your number one on Coco, which was Geo, did you try to form
Mhm.
a new close bond?
The only person I try to be number ones with that you guys didn't see would be Cody. When he came over from and stole our fishing gear, he had mentioned that Mecca was his number one, and he wasn't seeing eye to eye with Dwight. He was definitely a salesman because I believed him. I really did. So when I got over there, then you see me build my wind wall. Cody is the only person that went down the hill, but everybody enjoyed the wall. Everybody moved from the jungle where there was bugs down to the beach. This is great, and everybody slept down there. So it was nice to see somebody else that was willing to be like, "Hey, you're working hard. Let me work with you." So that's actually, I guess, the only person I try to make number ones. But I also tried to bond with, I think, the most Noel and Gabler because I just thought they were amazing people, very straightforward, very honest. I don't think they ever honestly told me a lie.
Mhm.
Gabler even told me when he voted for me. I voted for you. I voted for you because you were a physical threat. I saw you lift the sled in the marriage challenge, and I was like, wow. So I was like, okay, I will work with you. So I do think the cast in general is a bunch of awesome people. But the people I bonded with the most, I think, would be Gabler and Noel.
Okay, that makes sense to me, knowing those personalities. Carla was a big reason for Gio's exit, and one reason was she was worried about him and your relationship. She then switched on you for the vote. Were you surprised at all by this, or did you know at the time that Carla was like keeping her eye on you as like a threat that whole time?
Actually, no. I had had a lot of conversations with Carla and Gio. We were trying to make it a
Three.
three-way alliance.
Mhm.
And we were trying to, because Gio knew, Gio had known early on, hey, she's working with Cass, at least working with Cass and James. And we knew Cass was working with Lindsay. They would always whisper to each other. So we were like, we just need to let Carla see that she should choose us over them because we're more reliable, we're more trustworthy.
Mhm.
And you saw Lindsay get paranoid and she got voted out. But some of the things you don't see is Cass brought up Lindsay's name first, and I was like, that's one of her number ones. So there was a lot of things that were like, look, we're being honest with you. We want to work with you, but I guess she just spent more time with them because we were off getting stuff, or we were off getting snails, or papaya, or firewood, and she just bonded more with them. So in her game, it made more sense to work with them.
Okay. You later was kind of like you knew you were on the bottom of that tribe, but then the merge happens. You pitched a final seven with the people at that merge dinner. We saw the reactions on the show from other castaways that to them it didn't make sense. But what was the reaction in that space with you?
So to put this out there, when I said the final seven, I wasn't expecting anybody to bite that. I was putting that out there. So this next vote, I saw who would go against who was there, or the majority of the people that were at the merge feast.
Mm.
So it was more, hey, let's be final seven, and then we see who votes not with the people that are in my alliance in a way. So I'm like, okay, I can't necessarily trust this person, this person, this person. It was more of a trap, in my opinion, to lay out, not an actual plan that I thought could work. If it could, that would be amazing. But I didn't expect anything from these people that I had known for 24 hours and just wanted to challenge them. Like Janine said, I'm not going to work with you just because you pulled me up a wall. Like, you're right. You shouldn't work with me just because I pulled you up a wall. I'm just trying to test the waters to see what you guys think and pick your brains because with my mild cerebral palsy, I have to get negative body language, and I have to see how people are when they're being honest. So if I can see how people are when they're uncomfortable with a question and what they respond and how they close themselves off or what takes they have, then I'm like, oh, okay. So when I'm talking to them and they do this, I can't necessarily trust them. So there was multiple things in play when I asked that question.
Okay. Do you
But
think your mission was successful or?
actually, yeah, it was more successful than I thought it would be. At least for a couple votes, it did go with. how that reaction from that first vote, the Ellie vote, it helped me see, okay, Ellie went and this is how it voted because Gabler really put her out there. And then the Dwight vote, this amount of people actually voted with me. These people were with me at the table and they voted against me, like Janine. So when I saw that Janine voted against me, I was like, okay, Janine needs to go home. So that was my process of elimination and how I could read people and how I could try to figure out what I needed to do or how people reacted to certain situations.
Yeah. To be fair, Gabler doesn't probably say, well, who knows what Gabler would have done? Because I feel like he's a very chaotic person. You guys
I love
probably could have
Gabler.
been talking about something completely different and he still would have thrown Ellie's name, but I'll still give you that credit. I'll still give you that credit.
Gabler was great. Wayne was.
A running theme with you was that you had to eat first, then you'll strategize. But that repeatedly rubbed some people the wrong way, at least it seemed, who were more focused on the game. What's your like response to where your priorities were, which is survival? I think you're a survivalist, I would say.
So I guess it's my heart. Before I left, my mom had made a comment. I don't know why it stuck in my mind so much, but a couple weeks before I left, she's like, "When you get back, I want to have more family dinners." And that really stuck with me when I went out there for some reason. So when I was around people that I'm gonna have to live and depend on, I thought if we're full, if we've eaten, we can make better decisions. You don't want to make decisions where you're hungry, angry, upset, or sad. So at least I can eliminate the hungry part. And then on top of that, I'm the one providing the food. So they're like, well, thank you, Ryan, for all this food. You just got 15, 25 fish. So let's, at least give me your ear before we go and vote somebody out. And I feel like it worked to an extent, but other people were like, well, all he's doing is fishing. It's like, no, I strategized. It just wasn't strategizing with you.
Yeah, right. I think your strategy um automatically goes against like all reality TV. Like producers want you hungry, want you upset. Like that's and you were like, no, like there's gonna be a utopia. And it's like, no, that's not what we're going for. So it was a great, you're such a kind, like I think such a kind and nice person, but you're like automatically the antagonist now because you are so against this environment. It's so good. Your strategy was to keep others people fed, like you said. Were you surprised by how many people did not respect that like strategy?
Not necessarily. I also think it's not just because they keep people fed. I did a lot of hard work, and there was a lot of things that when I approached a situation of getting something done, I have a lot of experience doing things. I do woodworking. I talk to a lot of people to get their experiences. So when I go, hey, let's try it this way, and it works, sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. Gio actually pointed that out before he was gone. He goes, hey, you're great at everything you do, but because of that, people can look at you and be like, I don't like this guy. He's
Mm-hmm.
doing everything and he's good at it. And I was like, ah, damn. But it's hard for me not to want to accomplish something the best way I know how. So I think that's one of the reasons why some people were rubbed the wrong way because I even made like finger picks to clean our fingers and toothpicks to clean our mouths with bamboo. I made chopsticks for everybody. Like I was trying to, you know, do more so that it wasn't as hard of a struggle. So I think that's, he's doing a lot, but it, it's it sometimes runs people the wrong way.
I'm so curious, just personally, what's your zodiac sign?
I am a Virgo.
This does make sense. This makes sense. Okay. going going to my next question. Your biggest move was throwing a challenge to go to tribal to vote out Cass. You told everyone not to talk to you as strategy, so it looked like you were going home. Put on your best acting, pretended. I don't know if you pretended. Maybe you were going to cut that tree. I don't know. In the
All
end,
right, that tree got taken down. That tree got
oh
carried
my
back to
gosh.
down the beach the whole time. I'm surprised they didn't get it on TV. That tree was gone.
In the
We
end,
used it.
Gio went home to get rid of the knowledge of power advantage. We didn't really see you come up with a master plan after that. Well, now I know. Like the throwing up the final seven was kind. But is there a reason why we didn't see you like uh do the most? Because I
I
think
strategized. To be honest, I strategized a lot more than I showed. At one point after the Dwight vote, I noticed that I was in the bottom of the near the bottom of the hierarchy of the seven of the people who saved me. I was like, I don't like this, so I tried talking with people that were on the outs, or at least from my perspective, seemed like they were on the outs. Cody, when he came to the beach, said he wasn't doing well with Dwight. He lost his number one, so I didn't think he had other people. I know that Noel voted, was left out of the vote. So I was like, well, Noel's left out. Owen had been left out of the vote, and Gabler was trying to find some agency, or at least he was preaching he was trying to find some agency, and he did very well at being able to put his hand in multiple cookie jars. So I tried to get a group of five and move forward with that, but it didn't work out. That's why they didn't show it. So I did strategize a lot more, but I learned the more I talked, the easier it was to slip up and say something I shouldn't, or confuse myself in a way. So fishing and working was a good way to slow down, analyze everything I'm doing, get in the Zen mode, and also enjoy myself. Because I'm not going to go to Fiji and not enjoy myself. I'm going to go home and be like, all I did out there was talk to people and argue. What is this? But no, that wasn't me.
talking about that, Jeff would repeatedly comment on your gameplay at Tribal. He seemed in disbelief, first of all, that you said, oh, like, I'm okay with going home. You were lying. But I think in that time, you were saying some truthful things. Like, you did want to be enjoy your time out of there while you were out there. So that did mean like fishing and, you know, taking a beat while everyone's scrambling. Jeff later pointed out, yeah, the focus on the fishing. You admitted you wanted to enjoy life. Did Jeff's questions ever make you question how you were playing the game?
No, because one of the things you don't see is just tells us, hey, play this game how you want to play it, like you've been on it before and you had no regrets. I strategized as much as I wanted to. I did the things that I thought would help me get further, and I feel like in some aspects it did. You can't play a perfect game the first time, and if you did, you probably won. But I did kind of feel worried in the group sense after merge because a lot of people didn't see all the work that I put in, like making our shelter falling on us, me staying up for like 3 hours fixing it with Geo. Like they don't know the amount of work, and it's weird to be 10, 12 days into not eating or having half a coconut for eating, and then seeing this guy run around, swim for 3 hours, go build a wall, and then be like, "Let me cook you dinner." Like it's a lot to take in. So I guess I could have dialed it back a little bit, but I just was completely immersed in the Fiji
Mm-hmm.
feeling. Like I was like, I want to do as much as I can while I'm here because I'm not going to be here forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. Other castmates did comment on your energy. Is there anything you would do differently? Yeah, talking about all that.
I would have strategized day one. I think when I went with Geo and dug out our supplies, I think that's when they made that alliance. And the fact that that alliance was made while we were getting supplies, that left us on the bottom two. I would definitely not seclude myself as much, and I would try to lay low in challenges and things like that. Because once you get to merge, people are saying he's a physical threat. He's a physical threat. Oh yeah, he is a physical threat. Damn it, man! I was just trying to make my team win. So I guess it would be trying to fly under the radar. I would cut back the fishing a little bit, let people be hungry, um, and still enjoy myself. So strategizing day one would be step number one. That's what I would say.
Gabler outed Janine's idol in front of you, and you claimed you weren't going to tell anyone. Did you stick to that?
I stuck to it as long as I could until Ellie started telling people because Ellie told me, confirmed it to me after Gaylor said it. I was like, because Ellie came to me and was like, "How can I get your vote?" And I was like, I don't know how to trust you right now. Janine has an idol, and this is how it works. That
Oh.
was your number one? What the heck? So, um, yeah, it got publicly known very quick that Janine had an idol. And once she did, it was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Carla might have an idol too. So I kept that in the back of my mind. She asked for my
Mhm.
beads.
Mhm.
So definitely was true to my word as much as I could with Janine.
Yeah, I was very curious if anyone on Coco was able to piece that together since other tribes were very vocal about their beads and idols.
Mm-hmm.
You were in that final 7 with James. Were you ever considered of breaking it?
With James, Carla, Sammy, myself, Jesse, and Cody, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I definitely considered breaking it because I didn't feel like I was valued. I think I was looked as more like a meat shield towards the end. He's going
Mhm.
to provide for us. He's going to do a lot of work. He's in the same vicinity. But when the time comes, so I was trying to put together, at one point, I was talking with people to try to put together my own little group, taking from that group of 7, myself and 2 others, to make their 7 4 and us to have 5. So I was a challenge because, the people I was talking to, I just met, wasn't part of the Coco tribe because they were all on the top of the other hierarchy.
Mhm.
So, um, some people want to work with me, but some people already had number ones that I didn't know about, like Justin Cody. So it didn't work as well as I'd like it to. I should have felt off the waters a little bit more, connected more and taken time to talk to people so they looked at me like, okay, he can strategize. He's something I can bounce ideas off of so that, it could have got me further in the game.
Got it. Um, you weren't alone in that feeling. Sammy obviously also felt at the bottom and therefore wanted to switch things up. And he's only 19. Like, are you surprised at all by watching Sammy's gameplay?
So I could tell Sammy was younger when he did the Getty, one of the challenges. I was like, okay, he's not what he says he is. He's very young, but for being so young, he's very mature. He's not afraid to ask questions that make people uncomfortable, and he's not afraid to do things that you don't think a 19-year-old would do. And that's why he's doing so well in the game. That's why he lasted longer than me. He's young, so people, don't see him as much as a threat, but he's also able to try to personalize and get with people and see, like he did with Carl on the last episode. He's like, I want her in the future. I'm not trying to switch the vote. I just want to let her in on the vote so that, hey, another vote didn't go the way you wanted it, but I let you know so you weren't surprised. So you had the chance to be on the right side of the vote. And I thought that was very smart. It is being a very good strategic game, and I hope it works well for him.